Good morning from the Big Red Barn. It is 8:05 and 21 degrees in Clinton on Friday, March 11th, 2022. Happy Friday. The WHOW Morning Show is streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Let's take a look at weather forecast.
Local information that makes a difference. Here's your regional weather.
Today, a 40% chance of snow, mainly before 10 a.m., mostly cloudy, with a high near 33, west-northwest winds up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy during the early evening, then gradually clear, low around 8, wind chill values between 8 below and 2, north-northwest winds up to 26 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny with a high near 25, wind chills between 8 below and 2. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low around 19, south-southwest winds up to 28 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny and breezy with a high near 54, with wind gust up to 32 miles per hour. Sunday night, partly cloudy, low around 35, south winds up to 21 miles per hour. Monday, partly sunny with a high near 59, breezy, southwest winds up to 29 miles per hour. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 60. Here's a look at the weather around your area. It is 20 in Bloomington, 21 in Champaign, 22 degrees in Monticello, 23 in Educator and Taylorville, 22 in Springfield, 23 in Lincoln, and 23 in Peoria. In Clinton, it is currently 21 degrees, but it feels like 13. Mostly cloudy skies, a 96% humidity, winds out of the west 6 miles per hour, a 20-degree dew point temperature, and 10 miles of visibility. For local weather anytime, go to DeWittDailyNews.com.
If you're looking for local hunting and fishing information, then join us for Central Illinois Outdoors with me, Jared White, Sundays at 8 a.m. here on WHOW. Every weekend, we'll offer detailed local fishing reports from professional guides. We'll swap stories with local celebrity sportsmen, and I'll invite you to share your stories as well. Central Illinois Outdoors with Jared White, every Sunday morning at 8 on all WHOW platforms and on demand at CentralIllinoisOutdoors.com. Brought to you by Bob Ridings in Pana and the Clinton, Illinois Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau.
The DeWitt Piatt Bi-County Health Department encourages you to get vaccinated for the winter flu seasons ahead. Flu shots are available at both their Clinton and Monticello locations. Find out more by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com, funded by the Illinois Department of Public Health.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
ServPro of Piatt, DeWitt counties is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of WHOW Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, announced at the end of every Maroon sports broadcast. Our WHOW announcing staff will select that night's WHOW ServPro Piatt, DeWitt counties Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, whose play will be highlighted in each WHOW Maroon postgame broadcast, and that player receives a certificate. ServPro of Piatt, DeWitt counties, make it like it never happened. Find out their services by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the Low Cost Airlines Travel Hotline right now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
858-988-7667. 858-988-7667. 858-988-7667. That's 858-988-7667.
It is 8:10 and 21 degrees in Clinton. Time now for local news.
From regional radio to WinDailyNews.com and the WHOW app. This is local information making a difference.
This is Greg Offenbaugh reporting this expanded local news broadcast, brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick and Clinton. The WHW Morning Show is streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Masking isn't today's conversation any longer. That's how Blue Ridge School Superintendent Dr. Hillary Stanifer on the WHOW Morning Show Thursday described the current atmosphere of masking in their schools. She explains they followed many other districts in going mask optional soon after a Sangamon County judge ruled in favor of Illinois parents.
Yeah, so the latest in Blue Ridge is we were not named in the lawsuit. Seems like it's been forever ago since we've had those conversations, but we were not named in the lawsuit. So we had a choice to make when that temporary restraining order came out, and we were advised by our district attorneys that we would probably be best to go with a recommended policy at that time. So I know a lot of us as superintendents were hoping to, hey, can we just get another 5 days or so, or 10 days even, so we could find out what the real ruling was going to be. But I believe that I am on point when I say that I live and work in a community where we're ready to be unmasked quite some time ago. So we listened to those voices and we went with masking recommended back when the TRO came out. Had a little bit of pushback. You know, you're never going to make 100% of your staff, students, and families happy with any decision that you make. But overall, we had a few concerned staff members, and we obviously said anybody's welcome. We will still respect anybody's decision to wear a mask. I would say when you walk through the buildings now, I'd give you a guess of maybe 5% of our people are masking on a regular basis. But it really is not. It's not today's conversation anymore. I feel like we've definitely moved forward from where we were first semester or even in January, February.
While many superintendents up and down Illinois, including some local superintendents, fought hard for the restoration of local control, Dr. Stanifer was often compliant with those edicts, rarely speaking out on the situation. She indicates she feels more comfortable now advocating for those decisions to be local.
Yeah, I think that, I think there's two pieces going on. I think you hit on number one. I have a compliant streak inside of me. I was the teacher pleaser. A lot of educators are typically teacher pleasers growing up, and we don't often lose a lot of that as we get older in life and go into our profession. But I have a compliant streak in me that's pretty strong. I don't know how I could say what would happen in the future if we're still in the pandemic and another strain comes along and we start to see everybody, unfortunately getting incredibly sick. Would I be one that would say that if we were asked to put masks back on, that we would give it the college try? Yeah, I would. If we're in a situation a year from now where we're in a totally different scenario, maybe it's not COVID, it's something else, and we have to consider whether we want to enter into, remote learning or masking or doing something else. I think I have more experience behind me now that I might be willing to sit and listen to multiple sides. But I do feel like sometimes in a superintendent position, people around you don't believe that what you're saying is true when you are very desperately trying to say all of the information as clearly as possible, and people just don't trust for some reason or another. I would like to think that our state health department is trying to do what's best for us. I think that's where at least everything started. And maybe it didn't end up that way, but if they were trying to do what they could to save us from, being sicker than we were, then I have to respect the fact that they have that job and that skill and I don't. So that's kind of where the compliance comes in. But again, I do have more experience behind me now that maybe I could see things in a different way.
While Dr. Stanifer separates COVID mandates from the hundreds of mandates that are in place at the state level, she recognizes there are so many of them that it takes away the district's ability to move forward in its intended purpose of educating children.
It's amazing what they tell you that you have to do in the short time frame and the inability to get training and resources to do what you're being asked to do, standards changing all the time. One of the things that we were going to have to start collecting sexual orientation data from students for the upcoming 22-23 school year. And Dr. Ayala just recently said we're going to postpone that, but it's just one thing after the next. It's unbelievable. And it really does take away our ability to do what our community needs, because somebody somewhere has decided they need that collection point. And who knows what's going to happen from all the things that get collected. But it's, every dollar that you spend, you have to know exactly what building it's going to. And so they can talk about, how much you're spending on each student. And somebody's decided that it's necessary information, but they're running us to death, making it very difficult to focus on what we are here to focus on, which is what is going on in our classrooms. How can we really assess where our kids are? How do we have enough time for our teachers to give valuable feedback to our kids so they can help them grow instead of just checking the box? When you have things to do and you're just checking the box, but you're not getting it done well or with integrity. That's sometimes what we're all doing in a school system when we're overworked like this. I'd love to be able to not be under that thumb where we can focus on what's real and important for our own kids.
Dr. Standifer described the atmosphere of the school as starting to come back to life after the mask restrictions were lifted. She says it's been fun to get to know these faces again. As food prices at the grocery store rise, a University of Illinois Extension educator has some tips for ways to curb back on spending. Caitlin Mellendorf is the nutrition educator for the DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt County Extension offices and indicates meal planning is a great way to limit spending and plan for what you'll eat. Other tips she offers include making foods from scratch, buying store brands instead of name brand foods, considering buying canned foods, fruits and vegetables, and finding coupons for items you will use. For local news anytime, sign up for our free weekly e-newsletter at DeWittDailyNews.com. The WHOW Morning Show is streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance.
Have you been cleaning out closets recently? Bring any donations to Love It Once More thrift store in Clinton, and we'll give you a card worth 10% off your next purchase. This is Connie reminding you that by helping our nonprofit store, you can save 10%. See us on Facebook or DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate, and man, things are hot.
What? It's so cold, Uncle Sam has his hands in his own pocket.
I'm talking about the real estate market.
Do you see these gloves on my hand and this hat on my head?
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
Click the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hear Clinton Maroon live play-by-play this season on WHOW, the big 1520 daytime, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and 106.5 in Bloomington Normal all the time. Plus, streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com on the WHOW mobile app and Amazon Alexa. Plus, tune in for a Best of Clinton Sports broadcast every Saturday morning at 10. All brought to you by our title sponsor, NL Green Power's Alta Farms Wind Project, creating good-paying jobs that keep people in DeWitt County.
Let's swing open the farm gate together every day on WHOW. I'm Stu Ellis, your host of the long-running agriculture feature called The Farm Gate. I bring the latest news and information on where agriculture is and where it's going to WHOW Ag listeners several times a day. From tariffs to treaties, from the Board of Trade to the running board on your truck, I cover Central Illinois agriculture every day on The Farm Gate. Hear it all on WHOW's many platforms, on the radio or online. Join me, Stu Ellis, for The Farm Gate.
Hey, this is Todd Gleason from Illinois Extension here with a time change for our daily market report on WHOW. You can now catch our daily review of the commodity markets at 5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
With SRN Sports, I'm Michael Harrington. We're going to start in the NBA. Thursday action included the Warriors scoring the last 13 points in a win over the weary Nuggets.
A late spurt lifted Golden State to a 113-102 victory over the Nuggets, who were playing for the fourth time in 5 nights. Stephen Curry was game high with 34, but Jordan Poole led a game-ending 13-0 run with a pair of last-minute three-pointers. The Nuggets were up by 14 in the third quarter and led 102-100 with 3:10 to go before they ran out of gas. They have still won 10 of their last 12, and they took the season series from the Warriors 3-1. Bruce Morton, Denver.
Elsewhere, just one other game last night. Brooklyn over Philadelphia 129-100. There will be a Major League Baseball season. Players have voted to accept management's latest offer on a new labor deal, paving the way to end the 99-day lockout and salvage a 162-game regular season. This is SRN Sports. Moving on to AP Top 25 college basketball Thursday. Number 2, Arizona beat Stanford 84-80. Number 3, Baylor upset by Oklahoma 72-67. Number 6, Kansas over West Virginia 87-63. Number 7, Duke beat Syracuse 88-79. Number 8, Villanova over St. John's 66-65. 11th ranked Providence beat Butler 65-61. Number 13, UCLA over Washington State 75-65. Number 14, Texas Tech beat Iowa State 72-41. In the National Hockey League yesterday, Sharks 4, Kings 3 in overtime. The Flames beat the Lightning 4-1. It was Nashville 4, the Ducks 1. Blues over the Rangers 6-2. Islanders 6, Columbus nothing. It was Minnesota downing the Red Wings 6-5 in a shootout. Florida 6 and the Flyers 3. Boston beat Chicago 4-3. This is SRN.
Time for a look at sports. I'm Greg Offenbaugh with this report. As heard on 95.9 FM, WEZC, and online at DeWittDailyNews.com, the Monticello Sages went 16 for 16 from the foul line in the second half and neutralized All-State guard Nate Henry en route to a 54-38 victory over Rockridge in a 2A state semifinal matchup from the State Farm Center in Champaign. The Sages' defense has been its calling card all season and limited the 6'4" guard to just 2 first-half points as Monticello led 16-8 at the intermission. The Sages were just 2 for 5 from the foul line in the first half, but finished perfect in the second half and gradually pulled away. Ben Cressap, who was named to the second team All-State Wednesday, finished with 11 of his 12 points in the second half. Joey Sprinkle led Monticello with 17 points. Trevor Fox scored 14 points, and Dylan Ginelick finished with 10. Freshman Landon Bull led the Rockets with 20 points. Monticello moves to 33-3 overall and will take on Nashville for the state championship Saturday afternoon at 12:30 p.m. Hear the action on 95.9 FM, WEZC, and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Alex Bauman made a 2-tire stop payoff in overtime at Las Vegas, outrunning Hendrick Motorsports teammate Kyle Larson for the victory. Now the NASCAR Cup Series shifts to Phoenix Raceway, where Martin True Jr. won the spring race, but Larson won the championship race in the fall. Hendrick placed 3 drivers in the top 5 with William Bryan running 5th. Larson, the defending series champion, moved to the points lead by 6 over True. Denny Hamlin, who finished 3rd in the standings last season and had 25 top 10 finishes in 36 races, has been running at the finish just once in 3 races and is 30th in the point standing. Practice is at 12:30 p.m. Saturday, and qualifying is at 1:35 p.m. Race time is 2:30 p.m. Sunday afternoon. The Xfinity race runs at 3:30 p.m. Saturday with practice at 10:30 a.m. and qualifying at 11 a.m. Ty Gibbs pulled away on a restart with 6 laps remaining at Las Vegas and claimed his first victory of the season. Gibbs jumped to 2nd in the standings behind Noah Gragson, who finished 2nd at Las Vegas. Gragson, AJ Ullenmendinger, and Justin Allgaier have finished in the top 10 in all 3 races. Gragson is finished in the top 5 in all 3. The race featured 17 lead changes, 11 caution flags, and a 42-minute red flag for light snow and rain. Last year, Austin Cindric won after starting 3rd. The Camping World Truck Series returns when the circuit shifts to Atlanta Motor Speedway. David Pasternak snapped a tie with 17.2 seconds left And the Boston Bruins beat the Chicago Blackhawks 4-3 on Thursday night for their 8th victory in 10 games. Pasternak finished with 2 goals and an assist. Jack Akan scored his first career goal